Okay. Hi, Philip. Welcome back.
Hey, Douglas, thanks for having me again. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, it's nice to have you back. As I remember last time, we talked a lot about screenwriting and some of the work you were doing. And I don't remember much more beyond that because I do a lot of interviews.
hmm
But you have a new book out. Actually, I wanted to go through some of these because, okay, this is your newest collection, Beneath the Pale Sky. And
Right.
then you've got novels include A Child Alone with Strangers, Gothic, and Boys in the Valley. Are those part of that collection?
No, so I have the Beneath the Pale Sky is a story collection. So it's got eight stories in it. Um, uh, A Child Alone with Strangers was my debut novel that just came out this past October. Gothic, this is my new novel that's coming out February 3rd. And then Boys in the Valley is coming out in July from Tor Nightfire.
Okay, so those are standalone novels, and the other is a collection. There was another
Yeah.
collection on here too. Behold the
Behold the
Void.
Void.
Right.
Yeah. So those are my two story collection. So as of today, I have, besides my novellas, I have two story collections, um, and then A Child Alone with Strangers, and then upcoming I have Gothic and Boys in the Valley. Those are both standalone novels.
Okay, so a story collection, would that be short stories?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Okay. I think
So it's just a
last
collection of
time,
short stories. Yeah.
okay, I think last time you were on, we talked about A Child Alone with Strangers. Gothic we'll get to in a minute. Tell me a little bit about Boys in the Valley.
Yeah, so Boys in the Valley was um it's a little confusing, and because it was originally published in a limited edition from a small deluxe, boutique press back in October of 2021. Boys in the Valley was. And then in February of last year, of 2022, Stephen King got hold of Boys in the Valley and tweeted about it. There were only 500 copies made, and he tweeted about it, and we parlayed that. My agent and I, were able to use that momentum that he gave us for the title to land a big five publishing deal with Tor Nightfire, which is part of Macmillan. So they are putting out Boys in the Valley worldwide, along with Orbit in the UK on July 11th. It'll be in a trade edition. Um, so anybody who wants one will get one. So yeah, but Boys in the Valley is a horror novel. It takes place in 1905, and it's about a group of boys at a remote orphanage in Pennsylvania, and about 30 kids who live in this orphanage run by priests. Um, and one night, a man is brought to the orphanage. He's sick, he's injured, and the idea is that he has an evil is released from this man upon his death into the orphanage. And what ensues is sort of a Lord of the Flies meets The Exorcist kind of thing, with all these kids being affected by that evil. So that's what Boys in the Valley is about.
How did Stephen King find out about it?
So just he somebody Sadie Hartman, who is a kind of a review. Reviews a lot of horror books. She kind of goes under the moniker Mother Horror. So she's kind of a well-known uh, name in the horror community. Um, she got her hands on one of those limited edition copies, and she wrote a review about it, and she tweeted about that review. Stephen King read the review and then tweeted about it, saying that he was going to buy the book. Um, and then it was kind of one of those, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times things, because I immediately had all these readers wanting to buy the book because Stephen King had tweeted about it, and the book had been sold out at that point for months. So nobody could buy the book. So it was kind of a weird was kind of a bittersweet moment. Normally, if Stephen King is going to tweet about you, you hope that the book is available for sale. In this case, though, it wasn't, but it was helpful anyway because it allowed me to get the attention of some publishers, and we were able to leverage the awareness, the newfound awareness for that title, and make a book deal. So it ended up being a very good thing, obviously, but that's how we found out about it.
Well, it's obviously a great endorsement. Do you remember how many like retweets that particular tweet got?
So he's got like 6 million followers, but it was thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't know what it is right now, but it was up to like 6,000 and counting as far as people who had responded to it. But it was a very strange experience because I was actually, my wife and I were on vacation at the time, and we were skiing, and up in the mountain you don't have reception, and we're coming down the mountain, and suddenly my phone is blowing up, all these messages and tweets and PMs and emails, and I'm like, what is going on? And of course, all these people were contacting me, letting me know that this had happened, and it was weird because I spent really the next 2 days when I wasn't skiing at this cabin in Big Bear, California, basically doing nothing but replying to people about the book and explaining to them that it wasn't available, but that we hoped it would be available, and sign up for my newsletter kind of thing. So I'll let you know when it's available. And for the most part, people were genuinely, they were excited for me. They were excited about the book. They were like pleasant, and but there definitely were, as will be the case whenever you're on social media, there was definitely a small contingent of people who were somewhat upset that they couldn't buy the book. They didn't really understand why the book wasn't available. A couple people were downright mean about it. I got a couple messages from people saying, why would you have Stephen King tweet your book if you can't sell the book? And I was like, I had no idea Stephen King was going to tweet about the book. So, yeah, so it was kind of a weird couple days, but for the most part, it was very positive. And yeah, and like I said, now I'm very happy the book's coming out this July, and everybody who wants a copy will be able to buy a copy. And the reviews so far have been through the roof, so I'm very excited about it.
Well, is it available for pre-order at this point?
Yeah, so you can pre-order it basically anywhere in the world, from any retailer. Like I said, Orbit, who's part of Hachette, so they're a big publisher in the UK. They're doing an edition. Tor Nightfire, part of Macmillan, they're doing the US edition, and it's currently up on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and everywhere else. But it's called there's no cover yet, but there should be a cover. I've seen the cover, so it's done. So I think the cover will actually be released here in the next couple days. So it'll be exciting to see the people get to respond to the actual cover of the book. Right now, it just has like a temporary cover coming soon kind of thing. So
Okay.
But you can pre-order it, yeah, at hardcover, ebook, audiobook.
Do you have an idea of how many pre-orders? I mean, do you get a count?
No, I don't. I never really am involved in that kind of thing. I don't really get any numbers for my books until I see the royalty reports, and the royalty reports don't come for usually 6 months after the book launches. I think if the book were to do extremely well, they would probably not let me know, or my agent might let me know. But as far as keeping authors in the loop as to how many books are selling, no, publishers typically don't do that.
Well, you'll know by the size of the check that you get once the book
Right.
starts going.
When the royalty comes, I'll get a
Yeah.
report and I'll know how many we sold and all that stuff. I usually monitor how well a book is doing. Amazon actually offers a feature for authors where you can see, they do like a book scan report. So it's how many books have sold via Amazon, but it's also how many books have sold to bookstores. It's not it's not technically correct, but it gives you an idea of how many books are out there and how many are selling. But it only gives you kind of part of the picture. But so that's kind of what I use to gauge just how generally a book is doing.
We've got just a couple of minutes left, and I want to make sure we get Gothic in there. So Gothic is the new book. Give us a synopsis of that one.
Yeah, so Gothic is kind of a throwback, more of a throwback horror novel. Child Alone with Strangers, my debut book, was kind of a hybrid of like a thriller, more of a modern horror story. Gothic, I wanted to do something that was kind of really reminiscent of the horror books that I grew up reading. You know, the old Stephen King and Dean Koontz and Clive Barker and Peter Straub, kind of books from the 80s and 90s. So I really wanted to hit that tone with this book, and so it's about an older writer who's kind of past his prime. He's had his big hits, but now he's struggling to kind of come up with a new idea that, you know, connects with the new readers. And his partner gives him this antique desk as a birthday present, hoping to inspire him. And unfortunately for this writer, whose name is Tyson Parks, the desk is haunted. So he is suddenly can come up with all these great ideas, and he starts writing like a crazy person, and he's, you know, cranking out these manuscripts, but he's also kind of losing his mind at the same time, and he's being sort of haunted by the desk's kind of sordid past. So the book kind of gets into the history of the desk itself, why it is what it is, and then also tells the story of Tyson's kind of slow descent into madness. And it also deals a lot with themes of like success. What are you willing to sacrifice for success? You know, there's a Faustian element to it for sure. The cursed object trope for sure. But it's kind of like a fun original take on sort of those things, and sort of set in the modern world. So that's what the book is essentially about. Is this guy Tyson trying to figure out how to navigate being haunted, but also having incredible success at the same time.
Okay. And now when does Gothic come out?
Gothic comes out February 3rd from Cemetery Dance. And it's already available for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and through the Cemetery Dance website as well. So it's out there. You can order the ebook or the paperback or the audiobook of that book. So it'll come out, and then it'll all be released on the 3rd of February, a couple weeks.
Great. Well, Philip, we got to wind this down. We are out of time. Thanks so much for coming back. Nice seeing you again.
Yeah, you get.
You want to give out your website?
Yeah, so website is Fracassi, PFRACASSI.com, and all my books and are on there, and you can also contact me through the website and stuff like that. So that's the best way to reach out to me for sure.
Okay, great. Well, again, nice seeing you again, and best of luck with all your books that are coming out sort of one by one, yeah?
Yeah, it'll be a busy year. Three books coming out this year. I also have another story collection coming out in October, and then I'll have another book coming out from Nightfire next in June of 2024 that I'm writing right now. So yeah, lots of good stuff coming up.
All right. Well, take care. Best of luck.
All right, cool. Thank you so much, Douglas. Appreciate it.